What if a classic truck becomes nothing but scrap? Decades of heavy decay. The recovery starts here. A high-pressure water blast, flushing years of mud from the steel skeleton. Green aquatic plants wash away. Nature loses its grip. Moving down the chassis, rear wheels next. Thick debris hits the concrete. The teardown gets violent. Hammer and chisel, breaking the rusted bonds. Oxyacetylene torch. Bright orange sparks fly, cutting through seized brackets. No turning back now. The forklift moves in, stripping the green cab, lifting it clear. The rusted bed follows, hoisted high into the air. The bare chassis remains. A chain hoist drops in. The dead engine is suspended, then lowered to the ground. With the frame stripped, transformation starts. Gloss black paint goes on, sealing the raw steel, a fresh foundation. Attention turns to the engine. Covered in heavy grime, a hammer dislodges frozen parts. Green impact driver. Air compressor comes off first. Bolts fight back. Fuel injection pump next. More stubborn bolts. The impact driver wins. Front casing removed, exposing the internal gears. Dark metal sees daylight. Block cleaning begins, scraping thick sludge down to the cast iron. Connecting rod caps. Bolts extracted. The crankshaft is exposed. The block needs to be true. A rotary tool bites in, grinding the top edge, cutting past oil and carbon. High-pressure water, blasting the bare block clean. Ready for assembly. The rebuild starts here. A cleaned camshaft, coated heavily in dark oil. Crucial lubrication for first start. The block is painted red. Fresh bearing shells seated. The heavy crankshaft drops in. Main bearing caps. Torque wrench clicks, locking the rotational mass. Pistons go home, rings compressed, pushed down into the bore, rod caps tightened. Front metal plate aligned, framing the dark timing gears. Oil pan attached. Power drill runs the bolts down, sealing the bottom end. Up top, valve springs placed on the head, a manual fit. The cylinder head meets the block. Heavy bolts driven deep. Clamping pressure applied. Long metal push rods dropped into the valve train, connecting the camshaft to the top. Side brackets secured. The drill drives the bolts. Fuel lines next. Wrenching tight across the gray manifold. High pressure needs a perfect seal. Intake adjustments. Screwdriver turns a small valve, dialing it in. Heavy metal clutch assembly, aligned over the red flywheel. Final mechanical checks. Rocker arms adjusted. Before the cover goes on, the engine is whole. Fresh oil pours in. Lifeblood for the new parts. But the transmission is a disaster, caked in thick, dark grease. Decades of leaked fluid and dirt. Socket wrench meets stubborn bolts, fighting through the heavy soil, breaking the tension. A long wrench cracks the top, splitting the greasy housing open. The internal gears are buried, choked in thick black sludge, a complete teardown required.
Lấy tay chụp mũi cái lâu ok.
The damage is deep. Blue-white arc flashes, welding new metal onto worn teeth. Fusing steel in the open air, rebuilding the gears drop by drop. Angle grinder steps in, spark spray, shaping the raw welds. Cutting directly into the assembly, a heavy shower of sparks, chasing the perfect profile. The metal is still hot. A hammer shapes the gear teeth. Force meets heat. A final pass. The grinder leaves a shiny finish, restored. By morning, the gears are seated. The cleaned housing goes back together. Power drill runs the bolts tight. Brake assembly locked in. glossy black paint. The transmission is sealed. The cabin needs work. Old black seat tested, surrounded by rust and debris. Angle grinder carves the green panel. Bright sparks fly, grinding away surface decay, finding good metal underneath. Heavy pliers bend the weak spots, snapping off the dead rust, clearing the edges. A metal rod and a hammer, flattening the dented sheet metal. Arc welder returns. Blue glare flashes, fusing a fresh patch over the crack. Hammer strikes aggressively, reshaping newly welded sections, blending the patch. Welding the main cabin structure. Flashes light up the dirt. Grinding the long welded seams, face shield down, smoothing the raw joints. The door panel has a massive hole. Pliers bend the edges flat. A clean metal patch goes on. Arc welder locks it down. Hammer flattens the hot seam, working it flush. Grinder finishes the job. The door is whole again. Gray primer sprays on, coating the lower section, sealing out the rust. Plastic spreader pushes body filler, leveling the remaining dents, smoothing the surface. Pneumatic sander buzzes. Dust flies. The filler hardens and goes smooth. Final color. A brilliant blue coat goes on. The rust is gone. Exterior mirrors attached. The cabin is ready. The truck bed is next. Textured, rusted galvanized metal. A rough starting point. Gas torch cuts the support beam. Liquid metal drips. Sparks hit the ground. Slicing through a rusted floor beam. Heat wins the fight. Continuous cutting, clearing out the deepest decay, removing the bad sections. Torch cuts around old signage, discarded text on the rusted floor. The floor is fully rusted. A heavy hammer waits nearby. Final cuts on the rear support beam. The frame is stripped. Angled grinder smooths the torch cuts. Violent sparks rain onto the concrete. A large shovel scoops the debris, clearing massive piles of rust flakes. small hand trowel scrapes the rest, lifting hardened dirt from the corrugation. Crouching down for the deep scrape, attacking stubborn rust pockets across the entire surface. Pressure washer nozzle blasts, flushing the scraped dirt away. Clean metal emerges. Grinder kicks up huge dust clouds, prepping the floor for paint. Spray gun applies vibrant green paint, coating the prepped side panel. The bed is reborn. The forklift hoists the green bed, ready to mate it to the chassis. Lowered directly onto the black frame. The pieces come together. Hands align the mounting brackets, wrenching the bolts tight, securing the bed permanently. A rusted wreck pulled from the weeds is now a vibrant machine. An engine rebuilt from sludge, a frame smoothed by hand, and a finish that shines. True restoration is about patience,